Now, finally, we are looking at the fifth main type of IP rights, referred to as ICT, or Integrated Circuit Topography. ICT, or Integrated Circuit Topography, is used in many technologies such as computers, automobiles, pacemakers, industrial robots, cameras, spacecrafts, to mention a few. On the screen to your right, you could see a circuit arranged in a very specific topography. Now, this particular circuit is designed specifically for education purposes. It helps those who are taking engineering programs that is involved with electronics, such as computer science, computer engineering, mechatronics, telecommunication engineering, industrial electronics, power electronics, just to mention a few, to be able to practically apply the theory they are learning in class and how that could be applied to the real world. Now, the arrangement of how this particular circuit's topography is could be protected. Now, that could be protected under the integrated circuit topography. In essence, this particular IP right does not apply relatively or in loosely terms to a circuit like this, but it goes beyond to apply to how transistors may be packed on a particular die of a chip in a particular configuration to achieve certain innovative issues, such as how does it consume power? How does it improve interaction with other modules within the board? How does it improve, maybe things to do with memory? How does it improve performance and throughput? The way you arrange your transistors or simple electronic, components on a chip in a particular configuration might result into a specific performance improvement or a particular innovative or inventive way of how that gives a benefit to the overall function of a particular board, such as the one we are looking at here. So ICT, or Integrated Circuit Topography, for the most part applies to the manufacturing and design of semiconductor chips. So these are chips that forms microprocessors, GPUs, or graphic processing units, tensor processing units, or TPUs, on how these little transistors are arranged on that particular die to form improved version of memory, performance, energy consumption, throughput, among other technical innovative improvement that has got a better industrial applicability. Now, in that particular sense, that could be protected through what we refer to as ICT, or Integrated Circuit Topography, form of intellectual property right. Now, a circuit such as the one we are looking at the screen may equally be protected, but this particular IP does not directly provide for circuits such as this one. A circuit like this one could be protected through, IPs such as industrial design and other, IPs in that particular sense. Now that we're about to come to the end of understanding the basics about intellectual property rights, I just want to go into a bit of detail so that we may clear out certain issues. Products are not patented by a single patent by a single product. This is to say, a BlackBerry has a single patent for a BlackBerry phone, or an iPhone has a single patent for iPhone, or a vehicle such as a Toyota, Land Cruiser, have a single patent for that particular vehicle. That's not how patent works, and that creates a little bit of misunderstanding to the general public, because what they think is a vehicle has been there already, so you can't patent, you can't get an invention over that particular vehicle. But that's not the case. As we discussed in the section for patents, we said that 90% of patents are an improvement of existing invention. That is just to justify the point that there's nothing new under the sun. Now, in this sense, what we're trying to say is that specific improvement to that particular product may warranty protection in form of patents. Now, as we could see as an example here, we are looking at an IP behind the BlackBerry. So we all used BlackBerries, or we have heard of BlackBerries, that it was a very popular phone. Now, this phone is no longer manufactured. The rights have been sold to different companies that are now using, Nokia's innovative and inventive patents that they came up with. Now, if you go on PCT and search for patent CA 2508239, CA representing Canada, because BlackBerry was innovated or designed or invented in Canada. It's a Canadian product. You could be able to see that we had a patent. Now, the patent for BlackBerry was specifically for the LCD, all right? A display for handheld computing device, including a display panel, a circuit board carrying that display for the electronics, for the display panel, a cover assembly securing the display panel to the circuit board, and a resilient layer adhered to the circuit board for securing the display to the computing device. That is what secured a patent for BlackBerry, not the whole phone. Because if you look at the BlackBerry in its essence, we had phones like that even before BlackBerry. So they could not patent a whole product as a mobile phone, but some little inventive component of that particular product is what warranted a patent for BlackBerry as an example. So as you could see here on this particular diagram, we are saying that where you are seeing 122, 103, 105, 102. So those were patents, areas of possible patents that are awarded BlackBerry a patent. Now, inventors for BlackBerry were, things like people like Holmes, Shen, Simmons, and many other things. And collectively, this was, awarded to an organization which was referred to as Research in Motion at that particular time. But that was not the only IP right that BlackBerry received. The other thing that BlackBerry received was a trademark. A trademark, which was a combination of a shape, symbol, or letters, or the combination of all those together, was also awarded to BlackBerry, as you could see here. The name itself, BlackBerry, and the symbol for those blackberries like that was a trademark, which was also awarded to them. Not only that, the appearance, the shape, and the configuration of buttons and everything, the screen and how everything appealed to me as a user for BlackBerry, also attracted another intellectual property right, which was referred to as the industrial design. Now, just to take you a little bit back, the trademark registration TMA 659946, wares and services, electronic handheld units, registrant was BlackBerry Limited. So if you could go search for that, you'll be able to find a lot of information about that particular trademark for BlackBerry. And another thing also you'll be able to see there is that industrial design registration number 125919, title handheld electronic device. The registrant for that design was Research in Motion Limited. So all these put together is what made an innovative and quite an impressive mobile phone that I've ever used, called the BlackBerry. So if we look at Zambia IP system at a glance in comparison to other countries, you'd realize that, like I said earlier, Zambia only has patented about six patents, and few of these are actually done by indigenous Zambians. Most of them are as a collaboration of local organizations, individuals, and other people from outside. Then you'd also realize that we have done a huge number of trademarks in thousands. I think that could be 1,300 plus trademarks that we have done. So trademark, if you look at Airtel, that's a trademark. You look at MTN, that's a trademark. Trade Kings, okay? Trade Kings is one of the popular trademarks that we have in Zambia. Some hotel names are trademarks and many other things. However, most Zambian companies do not register their businesses and their business names and everything into trademarks. But we have seen about above 1,000 registration in form of trademarks. Now, in comparison to Canada, you'd realize that in Zambia, because Zambia and Canada, they are member states to the WIPO, so most of things that applies to Zambia applies to Canada as an example as well. Now, you'd be able to see there as that the term of patents in Zambia and in Canada is about 20 years after the date of filing. When the patent is issued to you, that particular day when you receive your patent, you'll have exclusive right for that particular invention for 20 years. Now, if we look at the term for trademarks, the term for trademarks is 15 years period. It's only 15 years period and it's renewable. So you could be able to have a trademark for life or forever, because when 15 years expires, you renew it. When 15 years expires, you renew it once more, like that. Copyrights. Copyrights, for the most part, they are for life. So if I write a book, like I've written a book called Code Sparks, a book that teaches young people how to code and how to work with electronics in the STEM sphere, that particular book, I have the right over that book for the rest of my life, plus 50 years when I pass on. That will still be my work. No one could be able to enjoy any rights around that particular creation until 50 years from the day when I pass. That's when now that will become free for everybody. Now, we have industrial design. So industrial designs in Zambia goes up to 10 years. It goes up to 10 years. Then we have got integrated circuit topography, which is not very much exploited in Zambia. But because Zambia is a member state to the WIPO, or the World Intellectual Property Organization, you also find that that's going to last for that particular 10 years. In terms of protection, patents apply nationally in Zambia. But if you register in other multiple countries through the help of the PCT or the Patent Cooperation Treaty, you'd be able to protect your patent even in other countries like that. Trademarks applies nationally, but you could also be able to register trademarks in other countries like that. Copyrights are automatic, apply internationally, but registration can be sought in Canada or in Zambia or in any other country where you are, like that. So if I publish a book in Zambia, it's binding worldwide. Everywhere that is my book. There's nobody who can say no because this book was published in Zambia. No, it's binding everywhere. It does not only apply nationally, it applies internationally. Industrial designs apply nationally. Integrated circuit topographies also applies nationally, and I could also go and register in other countries like that. Protects against, so patents will protect you against the use of your invention. It will protect against the sale. It will protect you against the manufacture. What this means, if you come up with an invention, what that will mean is that no one can use that particular knowledge or that idea or that particular, in any way, that particular, creation of your mind. Then no one can sell and no one can manufacture anything that uses that kind of invention in there without exclusive permission from you. Now, trademark only protects you against the use. So I cannot, for instance, use a word Airtel in a product that I'm selling unless I've got exclusive rights from Airtel. Then copyrights protects from reproducing. So what this means is that no one can go and reproduce my book. No one can go and reproduce your map song. It can't be done in that particular manner because you are not allowed to copy You are not allowed to copy. That's what copyright protects against. It protects against copying or reproducing somebody's work. Then industrial design protects against manufacturing, sale, rent, or importation. So if I design a particular product in Zambia, I register it, I get some particular rights in form of industrial design, we cannot import that particular product into Zambia because I have that particular protection. So if another person, say in China, has a similar design that applies to China, that person can't import that thing into Zambia for that particular time. You cannot manufacture that because it's my design, so you cannot manufacture it. You can't even sell it. You can't even rent it. So that kind of protection is quite important for the benefit of the inventor or the creator. That is very important. As you remember, when you looked at the philosophy behind the intellectual property, we discussed a lot of theories around that. And one of the theory we looked at was a Lockean theory that says that a human or a creator must be offered rights to benefit from their creation. They should be able to reap from their labor. Okay. Then the protection for integrated circuit topography protects you against the use, sale, and manufacture, which is also similar to patents like that, though it's just a period that is differing there in that particular sense. Now, what does patents protect? Patents protects inventions. It protects inventions. So in simple terms, patents protect something new, something novel that you have come up with, something like that. Then trademark protects identity of a product. Okay, identity of a product or a service, words, symbols, and design. So if you are going to buy something, let's say you're going to buy cooking oil, how do you identify which cooking oil you use in your home? So the design of the that particular cooking oil in terms of what label is there, that particular label that when you look at it, it makes it easier for you to make a decision to say this is the one we use at our home. That's what trademark protects against. Copyright, what is protected under copyright is the originality. How original is something? It protects literacy. It protects artistic work. It protects musical work, drama, manuscript, software code, algorithms, and many other things such as sound recording, performances, communication signals, to name a few. Those are protected under copyright. Then what is protected against industrial design? The visual appearance. How does something appeal to an individual? Ornamentation, shape, pattern, configuration, all those are protected under industrial design. Then if we look at integrated circuit topography, what is protected under the ICT, integrated circuit topography? What is protected under that is the original integrated circuit layer design. How is the configuration? How is the layer for these chips that are being designed and things like that. So the benefit of doing IP searches and of course just protecting your invention, your innovation, your creation with IP. You identify the trends and new development. It will help you understand what is trending in the space in which you exist. If you're a mechanical engineer or you are an innovator focusing on biomedics, and things like that, frequently searching for IPs would help you understand what are the trends and new developments within your sphere of operation. Now, it will help you also generate new ideas. Remember, we said that 90% of patents are improvement on existing things. So, for instance, you might be buying this particular product that you love so much. Now, because you love this particular product so much, you learn to say the way the edges have been designed makes this particular product break faster. You can improve those things. And when you improve such that yours now is more durable and it's unique to its design set, you can be able to actually get industrial design for that particular thing, and that would be an improvement. Okay, you can also gain competitive intelligence. You gain competitive intelligence by understanding or searching intellectual property rights from time to time, so that you understand what other people are doing, and that will give you that competitive intelligence. License new products. You could be able to look at the things that you're working on, look at what is new on the market and how that new publications relate to the research that you're doing, and how you can be able to, acquire licenses so that you can complete whatever that you're working on for financial gain. Looking at new IPs that are being published would also help you solve technical problems. So I'll give a very, good example around here. Early 2022, I was looking at, building a particular electronic product that was supposed to use a technology we call M2M, or machine to machine. Now, this machine to machine technology is a communication technology that is a 4G for machines. So there's 4G for mobile, which you use to communicate on your phone, but then there's 4G for machines. That makes it, machines such as PLCs, generators, to talk to each other easily like that, or even to transmit data through Internet of Things technology. What I quickly realized that in Zambia, that particular technology with all the mobile providers was not available. Most of these mobile providers did not have that particular technology. Even up to the time of recording, that technology is not there as 2025. So I could be checking from time to time to see if we have people who have done something like that in Zambia. And by me gaining that particular information, will unlock that particular deadlock that I have with that particular innovation that I'm working on the other side. So that would help me solve that particular technical problem. Now, you also be able to identify partners by continuously, searching for intellectual property rights that are being published. You'd be able to realize, just in a previous example I've given, to say there is engineer Kalembo who is working on a product like this particular one. So the product that I'm working on aligns with what they're doing. So you could be able to reach out and then form those, alliances and partnerships in business. So that's another thing that would be able to help you like that. So congratulations, if you have reached to this particular end. It means that now you have gotten basic information, basic knowledge, basic know-how on what intellectual property rights are. And probably this will be the time to test your knowledge. So I'll leave a quiz below this particular course, so that you could be able to test the knowledge and quickly see what you have grasped to this particular point. Thank you so much, and see you when we start discussing about innovation.